Rossford playing host to Massillion Jackson. Bottom of the third, Bulldogs down 2 on. 2 down for Brandon Swope. A flare down the left field line. It's going to fall in. Jacob Tzinski scores. Rossford gets on the board, and when the throw goes through the infield, Caden Kirkman comes around. We are tied up at 2 apiece. Next inning, game now tied at 3. Bases loaded for Kirkman. Grounder up the middle, off the mound and into center. Alex Williams puts the home team ahead 4-3. Stays that way until the 7th. Polar Bears have tied it at 4. Man on for Eric Freetage, and the grounder gets into the outfield. Jack Paflick scores a go-ahead run. 5-4 the final. Bulldogs loaded the bases in the bottom of the 7th, but couldn't get the tying run home.
I mean, our guys, we got a lot of fight in us. We're a team that's been building for the last couple of years. Jackson is a perennial powerhouse that, hey, we knew what we were getting when we came in here, and the fact they jumped out to a lead, we responded, they jumped back again, able to come back. I mean, it shows a little bit about our ball club. We're pretty close, the unfortunate result, but we're starting to feel a little bit.
Chris Schmidbauer and Scott Tucker have the baseball and weather report.
Well, unfortunately, a little bit of a heartbreaker here today for Rossford. They fall 5-4 to the Jackson Polar Bears out of Massillion. Rossford actually held the lead going to the top half of the 7th, but it was the Polar Bears who were able to scrape across a couple of runs. They took that 1-run lead, and then even though Rossford threatened in that bottom half of the 7th, just weren't able to get that run to come around.
No, a great game all around. Really, the story for Rossford is the pitching of Brendan Revels. Pitched a complete game, pitched a whale of a game, pounded the strike zone, very few walks, and then a real shout out to that defense. I think we had unofficially had him as 15 assists for the Rossford defense.
Well, Jackson Yerkes, one of those guys that was defensive stalwart. You mentioned Brendan Revels, Scott. Brendan really did a nice job of being able to fight through adversity. We said this was kind of a character-building game. No, it didn't come out the way you wanted to, but come down the line when you're playing in close games against a good team like Jackson is. If you're Rossford, you'll take that experience now to have it pay off later in the season.
Actually, excellent point right there. And Coach talked about the toughness of his team, and they had to show that today a few different times. Fell behind early on in the game, came back, took the lead, played through some adversity in an inning that almost got away from him, came back and was able to right the ship right there and just kept competing, and you'll take that this early against that type of competition.
Well, it was a resilient bunch today. As Scott said, they kept fighting, did the Bulldogs. Every time Jackson went up, they were able to muster something, especially with 2 outs. And we mentioned how much those 2-out walks, those 2-out base hits could come back. Rossford made Jackson pay a lot. They just couldn't make him pay one last time.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this time of year, great game, great experience for the kid. The only thing that could have been nice, a little nicer weather would have been helpful. But great job. Hats off to both teams tonight.
Well, Rossford will play tomorrow morning in this PBR tournament out here at the Rossford Athletic Complex. A great event to get the competitive juices going this early in April. All the coaches love this tournament already. I can see it being a fixture here in Northwest Ohio for years to come.
Absolutely. Great fixture, great facility, and the quality of play through all 8 teams is unbelievable.
Well, we're going to go try and warm up and figure out how we can make sure we still have all of our fingers and toes. But back to you guys in a warmer studio.